Hi folks, welcome to 8-Bit Retro Journal. So for December, I'm participating in Dawcember, where we celebrate things DOS, MS-DOS, or related. And last year I did emulators, MS-DOS emulators for the QL as well as for the Amiga. This year I actually decided to take a look at this machine, which is an IBM ThinkPad 365XD. It came out in, let me open it up. It came out in 1995, although I think this model came out either towards the end of 95 or beginning of 96. And this was actually my fourth computer in line of succession. If I look at the computers I had a ZX81 in 1982. Then in late 89, I got the Sinclair QL. And then sometime in 93, I got the Mac IIsi, which I then had for quite a long time until about early 2000s. And I finally relinquished and upgraded to a more modern machine at the time, and I got this IBM ThinkPad running Windows 98. So I did buy this particular machine used, and then I had that for a while, and then got upgraded to an Dell Inspiron 8600, which I still actually have, and then upgraded that finally in 2013 to an IBM Inspiron 1525. And the reason I got the 1525 and not something else is because it was the last series in the Dell Inspiron models that actually supported S-Video, which I was using a lot. So S-Video, and it was unique in that it had S-Video, HDMI, and VGA. I still have that. It's actually at the office. And then finally in 2017, I upgraded to an iMac. Although there were two versions. I had an iMac, I think it was an 09 that ran a Core 2 Duo, and then it actually got zapped by lightning, and so the Ethernet didn't work anymore. And so then I actually sort of traded it in to some respect and got an iMac 2011, which has an iCore, I don't know if it's a 3 or a 5. And so they're really the same, more in the same machine. I mean, I could have just replaced the internals, but I mean, because the form factor is identical. So anyway, that's the succession. I still own, the only ones I don't own is the Mac IIsi, which I got rid of, and I don't own the 09 version of the iMac. But for the most part, I kept all the computers. Getting back to this machine, so I used this became my main machine in 2000 onwards, and the difference between it and the Mac IIsi was that the Mac IIsi maxed out at 8 megabytes of memory, and this had 40 megabytes of memory. So and it ran Windows 98. I think it ran Windows 98 when I got it, even though I think initially it came out in 95 and 96, so it was designed to run Windows 95. But it runs Windows 98 pretty well. But yeah, and actually there's an emulator that I have on here called Basilisk, and I was able to run my Mac emulated on this machine pretty well. So I felt pretty comfortable getting rid of my Mac. Now, the Mac SI, even though with only 8 megabytes, it was an entire system. That's why I kept it for as long as I did it. I had a nice laser printer with it, and then for a while I didn't actually. In fact, I think on this machine, for a while I used my Brother EP22 as a printer option, because I could connect this via serial cable and print some stuff out. And then I think eventually I hooked a Brother laser printer to this, which I still have at the office. It's a pretty old one that was designed for Windows 95. But yeah, so this was a pretty handy tool. One thing I like about this is, so you have these latches here for the screen, but also if you do this, the whole thing just kind of, so that's a really neat design in terms of being able to open up a computer. You don't have to like spend a ton of effort to get into it. Now this is the battery, and you can just pull it out. I don't know how good the battery is. I don't think it's going to hold a charge for very long. You can take this cover off, and let me do that. It's got these really big screws in, so I think I'm going to take a bigger screwdriver. Haven't done this in a long time, but let's just see what's under there. I don't think I've ever upgraded the processor in this, although I do have some extra processor, so that might, if I can upgrade it, I might do it as another video in the future. Celebrating Dawsember. Obviously, this is a Windows machine, so perhaps as a subcategory, I can call it Windawsember and coin that phrase. Last year for Dawsember, I did MS-DOS emulators for the QL and then the Amiga. So this time I'm going with hardware. All right, took those two screws out. Let's see what this. Let's put these somewhere where I don't lose them. Let's see what that gives you. I thought that would just take this off, but maybe it doesn't. Okay, zoomed in here. So there actually, there was a screw right. That was a screw. It was too far away for me to realize that it actually was a Phillips screw. So once you took that out, this thing will just pop open nice and easy. And as I said, this is just part of the. I don't know if that's part of the USB drive or not, but you can see. Oops, you can see in here we've got. It looks like that's RAM, and I don't know where the processor is because it's unless it's under here, and no, that can't be because this is the PCMCA slot. So the processor has got to be it's got to be somewhere under here. It looks like there's actually a hinged mechanism here, so somehow this pops open after you take all that stuff out. I don't have a flashlight. Let me see if I can find a flashlight. All right, got a flashlight, and illuminates a few things here, but I don't know. So that's definitely memory, and it looks like the processor just has to be under here. So there's this. The memory. I don't know what this. There's just a piece of metal that looks like there's a hinge there, so this should just pop up. But I'm not going to take the computer apart today, unless it's not working. But I think it's going to be working. But yeah, it's a pretty compact design. And what I want to do next is boot it up to see if it still works. So anyway, I do like at least the accessibility of it. I'm assuming that I think this is what lifts the USB drive out, and then you can just replace the memory. As far as chip replacement, as I said, I don't know. But certainly a pretty nice design by IBM. This is before it was Lenovo ThinkPad. Like I said, I used this machine for quite a long time before I upgraded to my Dell Inspiron 8600. Let me close this back up and get it started. And next time you'll see me, I'll have this thing on and I'll boot this thing, have this thing set up so I can boot it up. One thing, by the way, before I do that, so this doesn't have USB ports coming from 95, 96. It does have a parallel serial, and it's got PCIMCA slot, which is right here. And I put a network card, PCIMCA network adapter here, so I was actually able to do wireless on here because I don't believe it has wired either. So it doesn't have networking from 95, 96, but so I was able to run an old wireless card on here to get to a wireless network, and that worked pretty well. And I had whatever browser, I don't know what browser I was using. I guess I'll find out when I boot it up. So yeah, this was a pretty cool machine, and it was sort of my entry into the modern world. Certainly when I moved from that to the Dell Inspiron 8600, that sort of which again I still have, and it's I think currently it's running Windows XP, although I think I put Windows 7 on there at one point, which is what I'm running on my current machine. So after this, the upgrade to the Inspiron kind of got me into where I am now in terms of how I use a computer. So this was sort of the last step into that transition. So I've kind of got it set up to the side so that I can actually use it. So let me turn it on, and the on button is on to the side here. So let's see it. Lights are flashing, which you can't see, and then screen is coming on. So I'm probably going to have to adjust the contrast. Yeah, it wants the time set. So year is, oops, how do you, nope, did not set the year, oops. Hopefully Windows will boot with the year not set. So we'll see what it does. I'll try to set the date in Windows 98. So you got Windows 98 booting up, and it's a nice screen. I mean, I was really impressed with the quality of the screen. Again, 95, 96 machine. I got it 4 or 5 years later, and it also has a PS2 port. Fortunately, I don't have a PS2 mouse at the moment. I have USB mice. Let me adjust the camera a little bit so we can kind of see. Maybe I need to back it up. See more. So there's the menu. Yep. Trying to get everything in there, so we're not going to get quite everything. Yep, for whatever reason, I've been using that background. There is the. You can get closer. Yeah, I'm just not seeing the top of the computer. Maybe if I angle it, there we go. Yeah, kind of see almost everything. But yeah, if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll note that that is the background I use on my current computer as well. So there's sort of and I do like the classic Windows look, so I actually use that as well. But anyway, yeah. So this is and you can see everything works though. Yeah, I should probably fix the date. So it thinks it's 1996, so it's probably easier to change the date here. Just crank up to 20. Oop, so now wow. It went really fast. 2021, and it's December, and it is December 5th, Sunday, and the time, hopefully we can type this in, is, yeah, so we can't type it in, 30. That's good enough. Apply. All right. Date has been updated. Okay. So let me just show you what I have on here briefly. So yeah, are there any remnants of this? Show desktop. 80% remaining charging. Wow. So it's actually, so the battery still kind of works. But let's see what we got on here. So let's do first of all. Properties, device manager. Yeah, I know that. So the reason this is all crooked is because when I usually do screen captures, I have it straight on my monitor, and then the QL is to the side. Here, because the monitor is attached, I actually have to use my keyboard, which is right down here, and so I can try to get it a little bit more straight on, but otherwise I'm going to be bumping the camera. So I apologize that it's kind of a crooked view here, but maybe that's a little better. I'm missing just the top of that window. I'm trying not to get any of the background in there. Yeah, so can I get this up just a tad? Yeah. It's dodgy to get it all in. So I guess I could just move this down a little bit. There we go. It's still not perfect, but see, it would be straight if you know, snaps the whole thing's crooked. But now I'd be trying to type around it, so trying to show everything I can. That's about the best I can get. And I can make the picture crooked. There we go. Raise it up a little bit. Oh, that might be my best. I think I got almost everything in here. Okay, and it's not a bad picture. All right, so just to see now, yep, it has a the disk drive is a how big is my disk drive? Let's move it out to the side. This is back in the day when massive C drive. Let's right click and get properties, and I think it's going to be like 1 gig or yep. What does it say? It's oh, it's 406, but I think it's partitioned, so it's 464 megabytes. But then there's also a D drive, which was my, I consider that my data drive, and that is, oh, so it's a 2 gigabyte drive. So yeah, I was smart back then, or maybe I wasn't, and I had a 500 gig for my Windows, and then 1.5 gig for my data. And that's where all my stuff is. So, yeah, this is printers, control panel. This is Windows 98. And I've got sort of that yellowish background. You know, this is sort of a light tan. And this, I think, is maxed with its brightness. Lowest. Yeah, and I think the camera actually will adjust to it anyway. Although I should lock in the, and now it's giving me, might just be this color is giving me lines and bars here. No, can I? I can wash it out, I guess, but yeah. But so it has, and I do have, you can see the wireless network. What did I use? Yeah. Select profile. Oh, thought it would give me more. But this was definitely not something I had to add to it. But I had a wireless card in here before. I don't have it anymore, I don't think. Okay, let's close that up. And I still don't like the way the picture looks, but what I don't like is the swirly lines. I thought I was able to get rid of that. Nope. I just have to live with it, I guess. Yeah, I guess if I make it once again brighter. Screen, you know, unfortunately I don't have any good screen capture software, but yeah, it's best I can do. Okay, let's just see what else I have on here. So, documents, program files, and on here I've got AIM. Yeah, old stuff, look at that. Microsoft Office, I did have Microsoft on here. And probably that doesn't look, is it in my start menu? Programs, Microsoft Office, Word. I wonder what version I have on here. Word 2000, yep. Look at that. And it just continues that theme of, it looks really nice on the eyes on the actual monitor. That's as bright as it'll go. But yeah, I did a lot of writing on this thing. Palm, because I did have a Palm Pilot. Front Page Express, don't remember needing that. Internet Explorer, oh yeah. Yeah, so that's what I used, Internet Explorer. What version is that? There it is, Internet Explorer, about Internet Explorer. It probably would not, well, this is going to be another version. This is not going to, wouldn't work on a version 6.0. 1995 to 2001, Microsoft Corp. Based on Mosaic. So that probably wouldn't work on much of anything. But if I had a network card, it should still work. Unfortunately, I'll have to, if I do a follow-up video on this for December, I might just get this old beast to go on the network. But a little bit of trip down memory lane here. I don't know why a front page. I don't think I've ever used it. Online services. MSN, that might have come with it. And then Windows Media Player, and then Web Publish. Don't know what that is. All right, so going to the D directory, this is, I think, where most of my games programs, yeah. And the one I wanted to show you, oh, it's not on here. Where is it? Adware, Bin, Emacs, WinZip, Wireless, Maxi, PK Lite. Now I know I have somewhere on here. I thought I had. Maybe it's still on. Maybe it's in our program files. I thought I had Basilisk on here. Google, no. Front page, AIM. Outlook Express. Huh? Nope. Windows. That's just the Windows directory. Docs. Games. Aldo. Huh, look at that. Leisure Suit Larry. Wolfenstein 3D. I'm a little surprised that Maxi. That was to actually, maybe, I think it's to read Macintosh disks, but what is surprising me right now is I cannot find Basilisk, and I thought I had it under QBasic Turbo C. Did I remove it? At one point I had nothing under docs. Yeah, I must have removed it because at one point I had Basilisk on here, which allowed me to run. Yeah, because the docs file is empty, so all of my personal stuff. So if you actually look under my current Windows 7 under users, I have a Mac IBM, and you can see those are the two disks. So I made a copy of that 2 GB disk before I wiped some of it off. And if you look under programs, you can see that I had QLA, the QL emulator, and Basilisk 2, the Macintosh emulator. So I removed those as well as some actual data, because I guess I thought at one point I was just going to get rid of it or sell it, but luckily I kept it. So I must have just maybe gotten it ready for like, oh, I'm getting rid of this machine. Oh, it's too bad. I thought I was going to be able to show Basilisk running on this, because it was able to run pretty well on this, and key presser, Maxi, Express. So this is, I think this was Expressionist. Oh no, that's on the Macintosh, but this allowed me to do expressions. Oh no, explosive. So this is a screensaver, I think. I think this does, yeah. And I don't know how to get out of it. Definitely, this machine's too fast. Did we actually say what kind of processor it has? Properties. General. So it's running a Pentium processor, 40 megabytes of RAM, Microsoft Windows 98. Again, this was a really nice machine for, here's my wireless software. True Mobile is, I think, what I used, yeah. So if I can find the True Mobile card, I might get this back online. Binaries, would it be? It wouldn't be under here, would it? No, these are just actual binaries. Emacs is on here. Flash. So Flash was so I must have had the external floppy, because what Flash was, and I still have it somewhere. It allowed you to so you could put not micro SD but the bigger SD cards into a floppy, and it would be able to read it. We're talking about megabytes. So these were the bigger SD cards, and so I had a camera that had the little flash drive. It's something that I wanted to try to see if I could get this to work on future. Actually, I was thinking of actually doing this, see if I could get the driver to work on the MS-DOS on my QL emulator, the MS-DOS emulator on my QL, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. Yeah, so unfortunately, I don't have any software on here that's interesting enough. Other than Wolfenstein. So let's just end with, and let's run it. There it is. Press a key. PC 13. And new game. Bring it on. What shoots? Oh. Food. Yep, so it plays pretty well. I was never much of a, but I mean, this machine's probably overkill for Wolfenstein 3D. No one here shooting at me. Oh, there it is. Such a violent game. I don't know why I keep shooting, because I don't know the controls. But yep. Oh, well, I think that's a good place to end. You know, I don't need to play the entire Wolfenstein 3D. So this was, yeah, sort of my fourth computer, or I should say primary computer, because I've had other computers. My first primary computer was the ZX81, although I did a month later buy the TRS-80 pocket computer, but, you know, this was still my main computer. And then I got the QL. But around the same time, I mean, a few years later, I also got the Z88, but the QL was still my main computer. When I had my Mac IIsi, I got it. I think it was a Toshiba laptop, and I didn't use that much. But, you know, this replaced my Mac IIsi in 2000 and became my primary machine for a while. And you can tell one thing I really liked about this, and the Mac. I like the Mac's look. It was beige, but there was always something for me about the black look that the ZX81 Timex Sinclair 1000, the QL had. And this really matches it. It really has that same matted, non-smooth plastic, and I really like that. Curious to know whether or not Rick Dickinson had an impact on IBM ThinkPad's design, because it really has that Rick Dickinson look to it. So in any case, I will end here. Thank you for joining me for DOScember today, and I'll see you soon.